Hi, everybody. I hope you are well today. And I'm really excited to be here today with HIldah, and she is the founder of the Mumba Children's Project and what we're raising money for at the upcoming event. So I'm really excited to interview you today and just learn a bit more about you and the charity. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're most welcome. So just to get a bit of background, first of all, so you're the founder and director of this charity. How did it all come about?
Yes, I am the founder of the charity of the Mumba Children's Project. Mumba is actually the name of my late son who died in a road traffic accident in Southend-on-Sea on the Eastern Avenue in 2002. So the charity was born out of the tragedy. When you're really depressed and you think of ways and means of trying to rise above the bad occasion. So I thought, let my son's name not be in vain. I started the charity. Yeah, so the charity was founded in 2005, but became a full charity in 2011. And this charity is threefold. It's got the children's outreach, it's got the youth outreach, and it's got the women and vulnerable adults. Because initially, I just wanted to work with the children, and then the demand was getting more and more because the children's siblings then wanted to be part of the project, then the parents. So we made it a threefold. I know sometimes calling it Mumba Children's Project sounds like a misnomer, but initially I just wanted to work with the children, but the demand was so much, We operate mainly in Zambia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, but we are not limited to those areas. We can still do even work here in the UK, but I find the demand is more in the undeveloped world, the third world. So we try and concentrate in areas like that. But it doesn't mean that if anyone here in the UK wanted help, that we would refuse. No, we would still go ahead and work with them. For instance, when we collect stuff, some of the stuff, if we hear that there is a tragedy elsewhere, we would donate. Like there are times when we help the homeless, we take some of the clothes to them, we take some of the supplements to them, so we can still help here in the UK. But the demand in Africa is just astronomical. So we concentrate mainly in those areas. So we have a center in Zambia called Mumba Daycare Center, which is sort of our head office where we operate from, and then we spread out to all different areas. So under the children, we've got education, we've got a school, we've got a feeding program, and then under the youth, we support the youth in a lot of activities, and we offer mentorship. There's football, there's netball, there's golf, there's basketball, and mentorship with those, especially boys and girls, is so important, because you find that the girls are brought up just to be doing the chores, house chores, whereas the boy is brought up to just sit there and wait for the sister to do everything, and then when they grow up and get married, you find the boy is beating the girl because they were brought up not to respect a girl. So in our football teams, we concentrate on the boys to tell them to respect girls, and then with girls also, we also tell them to be equal. We are not inferior to men. We are not inferior to boys. So there's a lot of teaching on self-respect and respecting others. And then we've got the women. We do encourage them to grow their own vegetables. If they can't do it, then they come to the center, grow the vegetables so that then they can share with their various families. And then the vulnerable adults, oh my God, where do I begin? The demand is so much because you find there's health involved, there's disability involved, there's poverty involved. So the work is enormous. But then we try and isolate one project at a time, because you can't do everything at the same time, isn't it? So we try and isolate whatever pressing problem is at that particular moment, and that's what we tackle. So coming back to the fundraising that we are about to do, thanks to you and Rosemary, we are really, really, really grateful. We do have, yeah, sure. We do have 2 containers. One is based in Sussex, where this container filled up last year. It's got hospital beds, it's got children's clothes, it's got children's books, it's got children's early learning, chairs, tables, and what else? Examination couches, catheters, dressings, because when you go to the healthcare centers, it's pathetic, to say the least, because there isn't much of the products to use, be it catheters, be it dressings. And the government of Zambia is really, really trying. The new government is really trying, but the problems are just so enormous. The government themselves cannot solve everything. So we try and help. That's where we come in, source out all these lovely products that people of Essex, especially South End, we are really grateful, because they give us all the lovely products, and these go straight to the hospitals. There's no intermediary. And the beauty of having a small charity is we collect something from South End, we take it straight to the hospital, and it's used straight onto the patients. So there isn't any go between. We've got people on the ground that make sure that these things go to the intended patients or vulnerable adults, or anyone who is in need. And then we've got another opportunity of getting mobility equipment, and this is based in West Yorkshire. With them, they are the ones who collect all the equipment, then they take it to the prisons. The prisoners service the equipment, they clean it, and then they bring it back to the farm. And then at the farm, then they sort the equipment into like crutches, wheelchairs, and then they pack them for you and they ship them. But you have to pay for all that. And to ship one 40-foot container, because there's no point in shipping a 20-foot, because the land charges are still the same as a 40-foot container. So you might as well go for a 40-foot container, yes, and get it all in. And then we distribute the equipment to the disabled people, starting from the children and the adults. But what we do, we are a very responsible charity. We offer equipment to someone who really needs it and it's fit for purpose. Because if you give someone one equipment, you might end up injuring that person because you've given them a wrong equipment. So we work with physiotherapists in Zambia, and if anyone wants to access our equipment, we advise them to go to the physio department, and the physiotherapists will assess them, and then they recommend the kind of equipment that these people need to use. And those people, once they've gotten the equipment from us, we don't just leave them. We follow them up to find out exactly how the equipment is being used. Is it useful, or is there anything else that we can do? So in a nutshell, that's what we do.
Wow. So much. My mind is I knew a small part of what you do.
Right.
I think when I first started to get involved with the group and talking about raising money, my kind of
Yeah.
in my head, I knew that you had a school and you did work with the school out there, and then
Right.
everything else I'm learning just blows my mind. Like, you're just an incredible woman.
Wow.
You really are. And talk about making a direct impact in the world, and what I love is what you said about, you know, because you are a small charity, the work that you do, it directly affects people. Like, people know if they make that donation, if they have that equipment, that's directly going to go. It's not going to get stuck in like a lot of bureaucracy or going to go here or there.
Yeah.
You know, it goes directly, and it's so impactful to be able to, you know, just touch so many lives. It's incredible. And it sounds like the operation that you have is amazing. Like, and it's touching so many different lives, and the way that it's grown and flourished as well, and just, oh, my heart, when you were telling me about where it was come from and your son, like, what a beautiful thing to do in his honor, and what an incredible lady you are to have found that strength to put, you know, to put that energy into something really positive and to make such a huge difference in the world. It's a really beautiful thing. So going back to this particular charity event, obviously, so you've got these containers here, you've ready
Yes,
to
sure.
go. It's just, so the money that we're raising directly from the online auction and the event next Friday night. And I know you've got other events going on actually in Zambia as well, haven't you? And you've got other events going on to raise
Yes.
money. So
Yeah, sure.
and that money directly that people are going to be donating and raising is going to go to shipping those containers over to get that essential equipment to where it needs to go to.
Sure, sure, sure. The money will go directly to the shipping agent so that they can ship the containers. And the beauty about it is, once the money is raised, we'll tell everyone that this is the amount that we raise. We always do that. And then once the container leaves the country, we always say, now it has left and it will take so much time for it to get into Zambia. And when it gets into Zambia, we always show it arriving. We take a video, we show the stuff being taken out, so that, and you know, sometimes
Goosebumps.
someone
I'm
will
just
say,
like,
oh, I donated that, yeah, and then they see it being used, you know. The thing is, because I come from Zambia, I know the demand, you know, I know exactly where the need is. So it's coming from an understanding point of view. I'm Zambian. I know the problems that are in Zambia. I know the problems that are in Africa. And I know ways of trying to avoid abuse of those things, because I know the system, you know. Yeah.
amazing. And so with past projects, because I saw a post, I actually shared a post about, there was a gentleman who, I think it was a wheelchair you gave him,
Yeah.
and he was able then to go and start growing vegetables again to feed his
Yeah.
family and sell at the
Yeah,
market.
sure.
What other kind of examples can you give us of past kind of charity runs, funds that you've raised and projects that you've worked on? The kind of, I love hearing the story
Okay.
about the impact on people's lives.
Okay. So, you know, this particular man called Felix, I was walking from the market, and there he was being pushed on this makeshift kind of equipment. You know, the wife is tiny and she had a baby on the back, and she was pushing him because the equipment was just too heavy, old, and he couldn't propel it himself. So I stopped. I think we were not walking, we were in a car. Then we stopped. I started talking to him. He told me he had TB when he was 9 years old, and he was unconscious for quite many months. And when he woke, when he finally recovered, he lost use of his legs. He couldn't walk. So if he's not on a mobility equipment, then he crawls. Yeah. I was so touched. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm not promising you anything, but I'll try and find you some equipment. lo and behold, we were given this opportunity to go to North Essex to go and look at the equipment that this charity in West Yorkshire has. You know, they've got branches, so they've got a branch in North Essex. And when we got there, the first thing that I saw was a hand-propelled wheelchair. I told you, I was so excited. I said, please, can I have this? And the man went, this is a specially adapted wheelchair for someone, with a special disability. I said, I have someone who will definitely benefit from this. I said, once I get home, I'll send you the photos and the video of this man. And I did immediately said, HIldah, it's yours. It took a long time. I think it took about 6 months for us to finish fundraising, GoFundMe, doing this and that. And finally, it got to Zambia in July, August 2019. And we called this man to come and get the wheelchair. So he's had that since 2019 and he looks after it so well. He is independent. The wife remains home, like you saw in that photo and video. The children come to our school now and the wife remains at home doing other chores because the husband is now able to move freely. And that day, that photo that you saw, we had a parents' day, where it was an open day. He's the one who came to attend the parents' day, and then he went home with the children. So, he is one success story that when I look at him and how independent, because his life is on a wheelchair, and he's able to go to the fields, he's able to go to the market and sell and fend for his family. So I can't really thank the people that support us enough, because their help goes a long way. People don't see it. They donate a £5, a £10, but it goes a long way. And that's the beauty. I always say that's the beauty of a small charity, because I don't get administrative fees for doing what I do. I put in my personal money, and whatever people give us, it goes straight onto the projects.
I'm literally, you see, you're telling me that story, and I'm like, just welling up. It's just, it's such a beautiful thing. I just got such a visual, because I've seen that photograph as well. We'll share the photograph. We'll post it with this video, and just seeing that impact and just the happiness on that man's face. And it's something that, I think in Western society here, we do take that for granted. If we need, we can just go and get crutches. If we're, I know my mum had an accident a few years ago, and she was on crutches and had a lot of mobility equipment for quite a while. And my mother-in-law's just had it with a hip replacement, and it's like, that's just, we have it, it's normal.
I know.
Just imagine that you don't have access to that, and the quality of life. And I think that's the main thing, isn't it, that he's able to enjoy his life and make an impact on his children and his family. And and I think just you're changing the world, like one life at a time, is such a beautiful thing, and it's an absolute honor to be part of it.
Just like you said that your nan had a hip replacement, that's exactly how I started collecting the mobility equipment. Because I used to work at the Wellesley Hospital, and we used to do a lot of hips, knees there. And then after 6 weeks, when a patient now is recovered, they would bring that, and then it would be scrapped off or sent to the landfill. So we started collecting the crutches and Zimmer frames, and the rest is history. And it all starts from Southend. So Southend, for me, yes, I've had tragedies. My son died in 2002. My husband died in 2021 November in Southend. So much as I have sadness about losing my loved ones by being in Southend, but then a lot more help has come out of Southend. Southend for me is the heart of everything that we do.
It's amazing, isn't it? From Southend to Zambia, and it's,
I know.
the impact that you've made in the world and the legacy that you're leaving is beautiful. So thank you to you and all your team who do the most incredible work. And as I said, it's an honor to be part of it. And I know it's touching so many people. And so, yeah, any other ways that people can help. Obviously, we've got the fundraiser, the online auction, which everyone that donates, all of the profits from that, whenever you're donating. And that's how I came into the group. I found the online auction back in November, and I started putting on a few things. And one of the things that I got was the membership into the Winning Women's, the inner circle. I've had a wonderful treatment. So that money, I was able to have a beautiful treatment. I went and had a sound healing session, and that money that I donated has now gone to the charity. So it's like the circle of loveliness.
This is it. Yeah.
Give their beautiful service. I was able to receive that, and then we've raised money for this cause as well. So so obviously people can donate online, that you can donate items that can go into the online charity, into charity auction. That money goes directly as well to getting these containers out there. We've also got the online event, but what about actual donations? Could people donate their own equipment? I know I shared a post today about glasses. Glasses is another one you don't think of. You can.
Yeah, sure. This lady actually just found us online, and she what she did was somebody was going to throw away brand new caps, when people have promotional material and then the
baseball
promotion
caps.
ends. Yes, yeah. So they were going to throw them away, and then she said, oh, but this is a shame. She went online and she found that we send things to Africa. So she contacted me and she sent these caps. And these caps are now going to be used when we are going to do golf, because somebody found us online and gave us a lot of golf clubs. So we've included golf to our projects, and we've now been given a place where we can have a golf course. So then again, she said, oh, there are these glasses, they are reading glasses. And she said, it's a shame that they can go to the landfill. Can you use them? I said, oh my God. And they've got lights as well. And my brother is a dental therapist. He got a pair, and he had to examine a man when power had gone, because he just switched on those the lights on the sides of the glasses, and he was able to continue with his work. So sometimes you'd think that this thing, can I just throw it, or okay, let me donate it to the charity? But it goes a long way. If you feel in your heart that, oh, I think this can be used in Africa or on anybody, please just do contact us. You never know where that piece of equipment or clothes or anything, you don't know the impact that it's going to make.
Yeah, we really do. So we'll obviously share the details so you can get directly in touch with HIldah. If you have any equipment or anything that you think you would like to donate that might be useful, and we'll also share the link as well. If people want to directly just donate to the charity as well. So there's so many ways you can get involved and help with this. And so what's next after these shipping containers? What's the next project? What are you going to be working on?
Well, when we've got we've got a piece of land that we are doing organic farming on, because with the feeding program at school and with the vulnerable, we want to be self-reliant. So if anyone has got any knowledge about organic farming, can they come forward and contact me and just share the knowledge? We really want to go just full-blown organic farming. And the reason being, a lot of people in Zambia now use fertilizer. Yeah. Fertilizer is fine if you can afford to buy the fertilizer. If you use fertilizer in your soil this year and next year you don't have fertilizer, you won't have any yield, you won't have any crops. So you will starve. And people in Africa rely on the rains, on the things that they grow, so that, the crops sustain them. You see what I mean? They can eat some of it, and then some of it they can sell to the government, so that then they've got some money. So without money to buy fertilizer, then you're doomed, because then the soil gets so spoiled that you can't grow anything. So we are trying to reintroduce organic farming like it used to be before, but not cutting the trees, not burning the forest. We just want proper organic farming. So if anyone has got any knowledge about organic farming, please, we are more than welcome. Yeah, because with organic farming, you let the indigenous plants continue thriving. What has happened is all those fields that people use fertilizer on, then they use weed killer. So they kill the indigenous plants. So organic farming or permaculture is our next big thing.
I actually you're saying that I have a couple of people who I will introduce you to.
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Already, you see, the magic's happening. It's good to put out there what you need.
I know.
The right people will come along, but it's just incredible. So thank you so much, as I said, for all of the work that you do. And it's just, it's never ending as well. This is just, there's so much for you to do. So yeah, I'm with you on this, and I know lots of people are just fully behind you and supporting this as well. So yeah, long may it continue. But thank you.
We are really grateful. Very, very grateful, and we feel privileged, you know.
I'm so grateful for you, and thank you so much everyone for watching. Again, we'll pop all the links of everything we mentioned there into the comments with this post, but do feel free, obviously I'll tag Hilda. You can get directly in touch with Hilda if you've got any more questions, or any other ways that you can get involved and help as well. But we're looking forward to seeing lots of you in the online auction, and also I'm so excited for next Friday's event. We're going to have lots of fun. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, there are still tickets available, and we look forward to seeing you there. But thanks for your time, Hilda. I'll see you next Friday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.